again, there'll be a statement from the coach and then take questions after.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I just want to say first, congrats to the other three teams and congrats to a first-time participant in Southeastern Louisiana. I know Rick does a hell of a good job there, and we're so excited for him and his players, his fans, his school. And then obviously welcome back to Clemson and Upstate. They've both been here. Upstate obviously a couple times, but our staff respects all three staffs tremendously. And I know it's going to be a very exciting, well-played regional. And you know, I'm going to go back to what Sarah Patterson told me probably 20 years ago. And you know, Sarah coached gymnastics here for 36 years, and Jordan Patterson was on our team as one of our players, her daughter. And I can remember Sarah saying, Patrick, never take it for granted when you see Alabama on the TV screen on Selection Sunday, and I have not. And I'm so glad that Miss Beaver and Miss Briski, first timers here for Alabama, get to experience this because it's a really, really good time.
Questions? Kayla?
Are we doing athletes first or coach, or does it matter? Okay. I guess for all of y'all, I noticed for the selection show on Sunday that there was link on the table. So why was that, or how did that come about, and what does this team kind of feel like they need to prove to the naysayers?
That was just from a friend of the program that she has been a godsend to all of us and a friend of mine for years. And she is like our team mom who somehow finds her way into the clubhouse at the most opportune time when nobody's there, and then surprises us on a Tuesday when everybody comes back from the weekend. And she seriously has a new theme almost every single week of the year. And during St. Patrick's Day, it was all green and white for me. Easter, she had a theme.
The yo-yos.
Yes, the yo-yos. I mean, so that was her doing, and it kind of goes along with our team, to be honest with you. It is so weird how our season has somewhat mirrored football, somewhat mirrored men's basketball, because at times both of those teams were written off, and so were us. And you know, we're still standing, and we got a long ways to go, but I think everybody feels really good about it, and you know, why not use that to our advantage?
Nick?
Yeah, for coaching and for the players, how do you guys kind of embrace the fact that teams have been here before, you guys aren't used to, are unfamiliar with hosting this tournament, this regional, and also for the players, that is some new faces that you guys are gonna have to rely on. How do you kind of, you know, deal with both of those things in preparation?
You have to go.
Oh gosh. Well, it's kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's kind of a full circle moment for me. You know, I got to the opportunity to play here last year, and getting to take advantage of this, you know, being a new face, getting to share with Briski and things like that, all my teammates, Murph and everybody. It's something we're really looking forward to. And going back to kind of the length thing, you know, everybody has a new slate coming into a regional. Everybody's record's the exact same. Everybody's batting average, ERA, all of that is 0. Everybody's is the exact same. And so I think we're really going to feed off of that and take advantage of it.
And something that I've been trying to like focus this regional and this postseason kind of round is for the seniors. I mean, playing with her and all other 8 seniors that are on this team, when we're done, like, that's it for them. And I still have 3 more years after this, so seeing everything that they've given to this program, I want to give everything into this program for them to take it as far as we can.
Jocelyn, you've had such an impression on your first year as a freshman. If you had the opportunity to go back to yourself in February first game, what piece of advice would you give her?
I would just say to be patient. I dealt with an injury and I was out for a month, and it kind of just got frustrating at times, and it was a little bit of a struggle coming back, but just be patient and to trust the process a little bit more, because it all ended up working out.
Coach, you've had some mega star players over your career here, not just stars but faces of the sport, Montana, but even before her, Jackie, Haley, etc. When you're building a team in the absence of somebody who's just, you know, total icon, does that necessitate a different mentality or different chemistry in the clubhouse?
I think first I got to give credit to Lance, because these 2 young ladies wouldn't be up here without him, and he's done a hell of a good job with a very unproven pitching staff. He did it last year. You know, he walked into, obviously Montana was there, but if he didn't play his cards right, Montana would have said, you know, who the heck is this guy? And why should I listen to him? And it was the complete opposite. He said, tell me what you need, tell me what you want. And then they went from there. And I think probably the same thing with Beaver, who, you know, she pitched for 4 years for college and then walks in, and Lance is now her pitching coach for 10 months. Briski will get him for 4 years, but she was the same way, very coachable. But I think the pitching staff really has held us together this year, without a doubt. You know, let's give the credit to these two and the other 4. Just they have been very, very consistent. Probably, what do we play, 60 games or 50 games? 50, 33, and 17. So I'd say 5 somewhat poor starts. Everything else has been a good start. And that's pretty good odds, right? Just give us a chance to win the game, and they've done that almost every single time this year. And, you know, in the clubhouse, though, it has not been, you know, the absence of a Haley McClenny or a Montana. It's been fine. You know, when you have 9 seniors with very different personalities and differing areas of experience. She's got 1 year here. Lauren Esmond 2. You know, with the transfer portal and transfers, it's a different game now. Yes, we have 4-year players, but chances are a lot of them are going to be 1, 2, or 3.
When you had years where you did have one of those mega stars, was there ever an issue with the team maybe looking to that player to do a little too much or come through too much?
You know, when you say that, I think way back to 2001 with Kelly Kretschmann. And for those of you guys who don't know, but Kelly was probably the all-time best player, 3-time Olympian, hit 25 home runs her freshman year in college, and hit 500 as a pro when she was like 38 years old, and just was just unreal as a hitter. And she was doing all those things way back in 99, 2000 that every major leaguer's doing now. We just didn't know what the heck she was doing then. That was so good. Now I look back at these swings, I'm like, that's what Kelly used to do. And it was natural for her. And that year, we definitely, like, I think we lost here in regionals. And we had not gone through the trials that we have this year. I've said time and time again, and Katie, you know this, but this team is probably the most battle-tested team we've ever had. Just, we've gone through stuff. We lose a game in the hardest way possible. You know, we don't get a hit in 14 innings against LSU. Those things, you know, really, really drive a team. You can go the other way, or you can go the good way. And I think this team's going to go the good way.
Katie.
You just talked about that LSU game. Beaver and Briski don't give up any runs for 13 innings. What do you have to do this weekend to get more support? And then for both of you, is there any sort of plea to the team of like, please help us, give us some run support, especially kind of heading into the state tournament where you talked about it's kind of do or die?
Thanks, first.
I know that they put in the work in every week. I see them put in the work, and I'm going to continue to put in the work. And whatever happens, happens. There is no other group that I would want out there batting for me while I'm pitching. So just to continue to have the trust in them every single game, every practice, because it's going to happen and they're going to get the job done.
It's one of those things where, you know, they have our back the entire game. You know, like that game, you know, it's 14 innings. And if they don't have stellar defense, then the pitching doesn't matter. It's kind of one of those things. I mean, it takes an entire army. It takes the whole team. And we're going to give everything we got to help them, and we know that it's going to come from them.
Nick.
Yeah, a year ago, you guys are going into regionals, kind of having to deal with some pitching uncertainty. You mentioned that already, how that's helped you guys this year kind of build as a group. What's the plan for the weekend and kind of in a perfect world in your head?
Well, you know, last year was just, now that you bring it up, it was crazy, but we have 5 of the 6 healthy and they're able to pitch. The only one that isn't is Lauren Esmond, who still is dealing with a pec issue. That just is a nasty injury for a pitcher, and we've never had it before, so we're learning the hard way, but the other 5 are all ready and willing to go. And they're all different, which is great, because we have the power pitcher, we have a spinny pitcher, we have a finesse pitcher, we have a curveball pitcher, we have a drop ball pitcher, we have a really good changeup pitcher. So they're different, and it's really hard. And when I say this, believe me, it's really hard to prepare for 5 different pitchers. just cannot flood your hitters with all that information because they're just going to explode, and they're not going to remember who the hell is who when that kid gets out there. So I think it's to our advantage, and you know, there's some really good pitching in this regional, but we've got 5 different looks that we could throw out there.
Anyone else? Katie?
For Murph, how much will it help having Marley back in the batting lineup, and just kind of maybe how did her absence or her injury kind of hurt things a little bit?
I mean, injuries happen all the time. Fortunately, you know, she got hit smack right and broke her arm, you know, and things like that happen in athletics. It stinks. And but she was really doing well. Was one of our best hitters at the time, and obviously is a fiery person behind the plate. And then, you know, when she came back, she had a double opposite field against LSU, and she hadn't got to, I don't think she faced any live pitching really. She had done short toss, she'd done tee, a little bit of like hard short toss, nothing like a live pitcher. So she's got to hit, you know, the last couple of days we have some good practices. You know, it's not 100%, but the doctor has released her, and you know, we'll see how she does. But today's going to be you know, when we practice today, we'll see how she's doing.
Any other questions? Okay, keep going.
For Jocelyn, you talked a little bit earlier about your injury. How do you feel like going through that kind of helped you prepare for this final stretch of the season where you've been pitching so well lately?
It definitely helped me being on the bench and kind of watching all the other pitchers and being able to be that supportive teammate and seeing them be that way for me as well in return has been really helpful on the mound. Just the support too that I get from all the girls, I mean, and my defense. I roll a lot of ground balls as a pitcher, and just knowing that they have my back and the trust, it has really, really helped me. And when I was down, I just wanted to be the best teammate that I could be for all of them, and to see them be that teammate back to me when I am healthy and I am back gives me a lot of confidence to go out there.
That's good.
I have one.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you guys have been physically practicing. What about the mentality side, especially being able to host Hero Roads for the first?
I don't know. I'm really excited about it. The mental part of it, you know, we've gotten a lot of practice in this past week. It's like I was saying earlier, it feels like we haven't played in 2 weeks, but we're really using that to our advantage. You know, we got to practice those several days. We've worked on a lot of things, working on the little things first, because that's the things that'll win your games. And kind of like the LSU game, it came down to a couple pitches that would have made that game a whole lot different. And so we've been working a lot on that, and we're really excited to see all the fans out there. I know I'm excited, and first time we're here, so we're really excited about it. And I know Murph's excited. I can see it all over his face over here.
Good? Awesome.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.